Inside Gaming is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Your data is your business, protected at expressvpn.com/inside.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Tuesday. Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077 yet again. Let's roll that same B-roll, baby.
Problems are going from bad to worse, with people now accusing developer Projekt Red of intentionally hiding how bad it performed on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, as a result, one major site has now majorly downgraded its review score, and another has attached a warning label to the game's page, telling gamers how badly it performs on base consoles.
Things have gotten so bad over the past 5 days that Projekt Red had to call an emergency meeting with investors this week to explain why everything is on fire right now.
So let's get into what all has happened. If you haven't been following the story, here's some quick background. Cyberpunk 2077 released last week, and while it got good reviews, it turns out that most of the reviewers only got codes for the PC version.
When the game finally came out on Thursday, owners of base PS4s and Xbox Ones realized that the game performed terribly, with frame rates in the 20s, sometimes in the teens. Digital Foundry called it unacceptable, and so did lots of other outlets.
It looks bad.
Really, really, really bad.
Like the contrast slider is all the way turned down too, like everything is bright. Anyway, that brings us to Monday's emergency investor meeting where the developer admitted that they were too focused on releasing the game. CD Projekt co-CEO Adam Kaczynski said in the call, "We ignored signals about the need for additional time to refine the game on the base last-gen consoles. It was the wrong approach and against our business philosophy." My guess is the signals they ignored was scores of developers saying, "Hey, it's broken. The game is broken. It doesn't work on these consoles." And they were like, "I can't hear you."
So that seems to align with the recent criticism of the game that they made it for high-end PCs and next-gen consoles and really didn't worry about anything else.
And even the next-gen console.
The next-gen patch isn't technically out yet.
Some investors had a good question for the developer. How in the world did this game get past Sony and Microsoft's certification process? Surely somebody played the game and realized that it was a huge mess. Why did they allow it to be released?
My initial thought was, oh, well, it makes them a lot of money, but I don't think it's not selling PS4s. By not releasing on these, it would have sold more next-gen consoles when they were available. So in response, Mikhail Nowakowski, CD Projekt Red's senior vice president of business development, said he assumed that they trusted that the developer would fix the game ahead of launch. And then he added, obviously, that did not come together exactly as he had planned.
He added that in terms of the certification process and the third parties, this is definitely on our side.
It sounds like Sony and Microsoft just took CD Projekt Red's word for it.
An insane precedent.
Well, meanwhile, as for Cyberpunk's Future on base PS4s and Xbox Ones, Nowakowski said that if your expectation is that the game is going to be equal to, say, next-gen or PC in terms of performance, that definitely isn't going to happen.
Nowakowski did say their intention for Cyberpunk on base consoles is to be a good, playable, stable game without glitches and crashes. That's good. We'll talk more about the disaster that is Cyberpunk in just a second, but first, let's hear about our sponsor, Full Sail University.
We know you love video games, but have you ever considered making them? If so, then I want to tell you about Full Sail University, which offers a variety of gaming degree programs on campus and online. Very relevant for the modern day. That can teach you the tools, the technology, and the workflow used by today's gaming studios. You can learn level design, programming, character modeling, production, and more. Graduates from Full Sail have also worked on awesome games like Grand Theft Auto 5, the Call of Duty series, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, and many, many, many more. Full Sail has degrees available in game development, design, and art, as well as many other degrees in entertainment and media. To learn more about Full Sail's programs as well as potential scholarship opportunities, visit fullsail.edu/InsideGamingDaily. That's fullsail.edu/InsideGamingDaily. All right, back to the show.
Okay, back to Cyberpunk. We should note that CD Projekt Red has apologized for the game's performance and said they're working on patches to improve it on base consoles. And about those refunds, apparently that's not a guaranteed thing by any means.
Yeah, well, while CD Projekt Red seemed to indicate that those would be possible even with digital purchases, lots of players are reporting that Sony and Microsoft aren't giving them. A thread on Reset Era compiled tweets from people getting turned down for refunds by Sony and Microsoft. Some were told to just wait for the patches in January and February that CD Projekt Red promised. Sorry, your game's broken. You'll be able to play it in a few months.
Wait, you don't have any patience?
Come on.
I'm sorry. I thought
this is
you
your
wanted
fault.
to play this. I thought this was the most important game ever. It sure sounded like CD Projekt Red was passing the buck to Sony and Microsoft, and they said in the investor call that they didn't have any special kind of arrangement with the two console makers when it came to giving refunds.
Yeah, so despite trying once again to appear like the good guys who apologized and offered refunds to anyone who wanted them, it seems like that is not the case.
Meanwhile, let's talk about the game's reviews. shall we? Like we said, CD Projekt Red only provided PC review codes to media outlets, but now some are going back and reviewing the game for consoles.
While IGN gave the game a 9 on PC, it recently came out with their review of the game on the base PS4 and Xbox One and gave it a 4, calling it nearly unrecognizable compared to the PC version.
That's like a 0 for IGN.
Yeah, I think the last game I remember getting a 4 is Homefront Revolution. And the reason I know that is because it was one of the rare instances of a video game being set in Philadelphia.
Right, that was the problem.
No.
Was that it was set in Philadelphia.
So IGN wrote, if your only option right now is playing Cyberpunk 2077 on either the base console platforms, I highly suggest you don't play at all until its many terrible performance issues are fixed.
So otherwise they suggested getting a refund, which is pretty scathing stuff. And the review aggregator site OpenCritic has added a warning to the game's page, telling players that the game has significant disparities in performance, player experience, and review scores between the PC, next-gen consoles, Xbox One, and PS4 versions. Yeah, it's not the same game. I am not playing the same game on my PC that people are playing on their Xbox One.
They added, the OpenCritic team and several critics suspect that the developer CD Projekt Red intentionally sought to hide the true state of the game on Xbox One and PS4 with requirements such as only allowing pre-rendered game footage in reviews and not issuing review copies for PS4 and Xbox One versions.
That should have been a massive red flag.
In a blog post explaining the warning, OpenCritic co-founder Matthew Enthoven accused the developer of deliberately attempting to misrepresent its product. He added, they did it knowing that what they were doing was wrong. It was deceptive, selfish, and exploitative. They did it anyway.
So why did CD Projekt Red do it? Why? Who done it? Well, it's all because it had to do with CD Projekt Red's bonus system. Bloomberg reported that employee bonuses are apparently tied to the review score on another aggregation site, Metacritic. Bloomberg wrote that if the score dips below 90, it may no longer meet the threshold that CD Projekt had originally set for bonus payouts.
That is such a bad idea.
91.
That is such a colossally bad idea.
This is the that like makes people do this conspiracy dumb where they're like, oh, so you guys are clearly on like somebody's payroll for these like reviews, or this is the reason people don't have faith in this stuff.
I mean, this is up there with the Rockstar. If you exit the studio before the game publishes, you don't get your name in the credits. Not to disparage any smaller publications, but like Metacritic pulls from all parts of the internet.
But in a recent staff email, studio head and Cyberpunk creative director Adam Badowski told employees that they are going to change that bonus structure and that employees will get their full bonuses no matter what the review scores are.
That is a good thing, because the review scores are dropping.
Well, it initially had a 91 on Metacritic. It's now down to 89. It's even lower on OpenCritic at an 84.
If people keep reviewing it on the last gen consoles, which still kind of this gen, because nobody can get the next ones except Patrick, it's gonna get even worse.
And I have one and I've been enjoying it, and I've been enjoying the fact that no one else has one.
Well, you've been doing squats with it.
Yep.
And you look good.
I sleep with it.
I can tell you've been playing Astrobot Rescue Playroom Mission.
It's so good.